Hi everyone, Helen, thank you for such a generous introduction, and Susanna, thank you so much for giving us access to so many different worlds at this moment where so many of us are, well, all of us are stuck in our homes and have been for almost a year. So I'm going to begin with a poem from my forthcoming collection. This one is called Cochineal Wings. Cochineal Wings, 1. Today I'm 4 and go to market with my mother. She buys lilies for the imaginary pool I colour in, cuts grapefruit peel into boats, unzips the coat of each segment and lays them down. Naked bodies on floating rafts. Waxy limbs protect us from sinking. How skin survives a boat ride. 2. Tonight I read about monarch butterflies flying south each year. 3,000 miles, from Canada to Mexico, from milkweed to wildflower. Not one completes the journey. America is full of gossamer carcasses, flitting between falling bullets. There is nothing of butterfly in my mother. I stop believing in symbols. 3. Lately, I'm concerned by wings. A week after my grandmother dies, I dream her head emerges from my own womb, ashen, except its lips on which a tattooed starling is fixed in cochineal, insect wings ground up for paste. Later, I begin EMDR treatment. I am cold as a fish memory of the time it takes to cross the Atlantic twice and end up right where I started, with a woman yelling, "Go back to where you come from," her words purpling the dusk. And continuing with the migration and ocean theme, I'm going to read a ghazal, which is a Persian form written in couplets, in which each couplet ends with the same sequence of words as a kind of refrain or song. This one is Ghazal Ocean Water. Today, spilt bucket in the kitchen. No milk, only ocean water and satellite data over which you sit. Salt eyes leak ocean water. In search of salt syllables, I acquire an echo sounder, expert in bathymetry, find forests on the seafloor depths of ocean water. In your eyes, only the sea's whiteness, as tendons split apart your deck and cupped hands measure infinity in ocean water. I am conscious of my fingertips, that rivers do meet and the sun repeats its rise and disappearance against the edge of ocean water. Often, I tear edges out of sandpaper. In defense of fragments, I piece together printed scenes. Ink loosens, thins in ocean water. I thin my bones to fit between the streams of your disrupted sleep. Where you go at night is unimaginable. What part of ocean water? In this forever night, I count color as some count sheep. The field is flooded, and what you think is grass are water snakes in ocean water. I reach to touch your surface, tides ascending skin. In the morning, cold and clouded, I find bite marks on my fins, scars of ocean water. Last year, I did a course with Live Canon called Writing the Climate Crisis. And so I thought I would read the poem that came out of that course. This one is a sonnet, and one of the things it investigates is complicity, which is a theme that often appears in my work, looking at the our own positionality within global structures, many of which are violent structures, and the ways in which we contribute to that violence. This is From the Boat Window Foam Lapping. From the boat window, foam lapping at edges. You and I discuss pyrotechnics, white shattering blue. Someone lights a fuse, sparks like goldfish. Is this another world now, breaking into ours, slicing the night and everything bleeding out now, raw and beautiful? Come with me and collapse our bodies, burnt and new. I want you as crabs need to scuttle over coat caps. You count labels advertising Evian, Mountain Valley Spring, the genuine water company. flasks tossed like bait, fluorescent cans. The urine-coloured bags collide like jellyfish. There are no jellyfish, no Naples, no Netherlands, no Shanghai. We have the word coral and the colour, but not the monk seal's hum finding its mate. And as calcium carbonate dissolves and the shell of tiny shrimp disintegrates, you order dressed prawns with crisps. This is how we went to war with ocean, lover by lover. In search of turtles, we find only floating plastic, and by it, cigarette butts bent by like lips, and a dead penguin, ordure caressed. And this next one is the poem that Helen was referring to in that generous introduction. It's called Elegy to the Howler Monkeys, and it's a sestina, which is a form I came into contact with last year, written 6 stanzas with 6 lines, and the end words are repeated throughout the whole of the poem, so there are only 6 end words. Elegy to the Howler Monkeys. Their shrieks stab the heart of the undergrowth. My cousin calls me Changuita, little monkey, chucks me up, his branch arms sprawled as I hung upside down. I leap from tree to tree, his friends welcoming me in. Sharp embrace. I am only 15 in the dark when you find me, toss me, fish and bait. Later in the 19th century library, I read Fanny Hill is bait for an old man. Walking to my dorm, undergrowth of nettles and thorns, no dock leaf, I am stung, 15 sores spread red between my thighs. The monkeys watch. Berger writes that women and women friends spectate themselves, aware of being seen. I hang half out the window, wind through my hair, hang on till I feel something. A boy sniggers, I take the bait, start another speech about feminism. My friend says the history of sex is a very small undergrowth of fully consensual encounters. Usually one monkey initiates, once more, and the other bears it. At 15, I don't say much or anything very well. 15 is a time of miracles I don't remember. I hang from the boat sails of my sheets, my cotton monkey climbing clouds. A pterodactyl's on my wall, bait for the meteorite I keep from wrecking. Undergrowth keeps growing. No bridge off the cliff. My friends, imaginary giraffe and ghost moth. The borders of friendship are contrails of smoke. At dusk, I return to 15 and the party. The bonfire burns into the undergrowth. You were my friend and I trusted you. I hang my letters on sharp rocks. Syllables break and I am bait, ums and silences. Inevitably, I retreat to theory. Monkey at typewriter. Turn in my coursework, play monkey for grown-ups, talk Marxism, discuss with friends the problems with university politics. I am bait for a polite disagreement, but inside I am still 15 and I simmer. Obsess over every touch, I am hung up on detail, wade through the footnote undergrowth of memory, bait the monkey, follow it to the edge until the undergrowth thins and there's a clearing of friends. I am not 15. I am the hangman haunting the bridge. And to finish, this last poem is called For My Mother. Orange juice pressed fresh in memory. This morning tartar, not quite the sweet enough of home. This early hour you wonder what the hummingbird says to the heron of its migration. Now the church is sinking through the torn up streets of Coyoacan, tree roots displacing concrete, bury deep. At dusk, the jacaranda scent infiltrates colonial walks, cobbles delineate peripheries, and what you were slips out unbidden, with passing years of you still up at 4 a.m., still jet-lagged from your first flight, when just outside a bird begins, with me still wondering what part of you I lose each day to another language, another song. Thank you so much, everyone.